Manchester City hi London khopui changin kilometers athum somli paruka hla oma chuwan chan a hla ang reng pian me a chan chen khat ten ral khat a changin Manchester vakal Old Trafford ta khan vakal te jersey te min lo le te tia ron ha soi sakle ang mai ai hianin vakal hi a ulsam halem lo hle me ya train in a kal theya bus in a kal theya national coach and ti me bus service om boka a mai ro chu heng te hi yon ai na to phian metin at lat ang renga wang hianin kalchung a reya darkar li changa darkar nga kal ani a chutiang ani chuan public transport in train emo basin emo kalta ila darkar li darkar nga kal chuanin zingdar riate mo a chwa khanin kan kalna tur mun stadium han kala transport bus khan khalai mun hamin job si lawa khata chang khanin local transport khalak le ngai ta khata inzon boy bel chung nen khanin hun kha pai rau mai chin don na chuan chuanin zante ria ka kal mai lo kha chuanin harsa a a hetia rala changa kan han ngai to ang ringot khanin ate mai theilawa han lam nai bu thiar kal ngot chi kha ani lem lo wangin chan chen khat tenen ma dewa chang khan kan han plan ve a julai ni somni palli a hianin motor te mangila kal mai la kan ti ati khan chan pali kan in tiam rola expenditure te po kha kan han share tur khang kan ti ani e chuan tu mangai khan kan kal thei ta hlau meya lo ti chi viau mai ba se mo train mo kal ai chuan a chan chu a mun han thlen khan stadium ma khan motor khan min han jop ngal ta a le chuan min nga ka ko pui chunga min kan kwal puya kan hole theya kan e tur kan king veka kami kha kan do na muna khoya mum pak pui kan e be ta a le chuan in kami no kan tlan ta e na tur mun han zon emo tinge hemi zo hian khong khoya nge kan chuan deng bus khoya nge bus tin khong nge taxi tinge tingai to boy ngai lo kha lo chaviao mai zingdariat pel cheta London kan chua sana ti chuan kan han tlan char na kal konga han chun ram han thiar vel te lo ve a han chol neu khan ren ai tak chuanin tlan chung chu lo rea chanudar ni vela kan stadium tak chu kan lut kan thleng thei ta shama stadium le museum tour ticket khatar so pani ta kan lo ka kan tlai chiang hle me chu wang chan kan thlen nuwa po khanin khui lai ber chang lu tu nge tia a building kan han vel kwal vel fe nuwa khanin kan han in ho chwa kwal kan han lu me chuan tar ni lem ni somli panga vel lai lo ni ta dora chu wang chan kan ticket nei sa ha kan nang lo na sa tamaya chunga khanin min han siam rim saka tor khar dar thum le minute soma nei torin min siam rim saka kan museum te kan han lut chan ta lung oi tak chang kan han lut ve ta ham hama ran kan group khan mi som panga min siama tor kai khanin ran kala mi khanin du zat thla te point na theyang khalak phalani chunga po na po stadium po ti vel takna in ama khan dikha min han shoi thila soi pa zela stadium chung kan han lut kha alai si ta khanin do na lai khan lai na han chu ula te kan han chu ang chep chopa stadium chanchin le players te chanchin tlang pui te history Manchester United Football Club history te asoi boka khatang a soi khanin a soi zo kha helama kalang ule te min kal pui le ta me se thla kha kan laman talo ke ni a zahar tanang ngang kha chuanin nan ti sham khania chuan chu bang chuanin khatia thlalak nu hun min pilowa soi char bang khan mun da ka chan a thu soi po ngai ven telem lo khanin thla te ha kan la kwal ta vak maya kan la kwal ta de urim maya in thla shen am lek zo ka tu khat phei chu min lu sana mun danga kal le to khan ke ni ka tle min thla kan lo ni fum de kha an lu na mai kha an chi to lawa ama khana ma tour guide khanin min warning block rega achunga hianin in bo chuan tuman kan ron zong don lo chung nia atisa kan ron zong lo chung a khan lai mun ron tlo do ron kalin te boka in du chen in bak kwal to meng chu kha atia chuan atiang tak khanin kan bo deuh an lu na nia kan shet tak khan lo on box si lawa ma se kong ka pakhat in khar aron honga ma kan guide khanin ama bok chuan min ron zong chu lo ni thu khungin uma tia he kan zui che kan lo ti ve me a fem thoin kan le ta ham hama ranin a zau tham bok awangin kan hun kan du radar car hi vel don chu hun kan ma kan kwal vel na kan stadium kan sin le history ang kha chu ama soina clip hi kala thi kada tho don boka ka sei cheu na wanga tin tang no hi chu chhar tur khoya po internet lama te po tam to a chu ban chanin ka sei lawanga hei Manchester United Football Club hi sang kha chariat sam sari pariat daya an bul chan to khan ni boka an stadium po tun hnai club thar ho ai chanin a hluin a man lai zok dai meya board lian an ti ang chi digital board po kha an nei ve lawa chunga hian ma se hlu khop mai chung thalak le to kai nei na thu soi telem video te ka da maro chu video kan lak ve mo thi ka phone camera changa thlasung de chung kala ka nei wangin a fiat chalawanga alak po hi mo nom don lova ma se nin helai muna kal ve chak mmc kal thei lo tan ho nom ve shem tan clip hi kan siam ni stadium tour kan chanta chunga in noya kan chunga chuan stepa chho le a
Any of these please, guys, thank you. Welcome. 14 or 15 please, guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, yeah, you're welcome. Hi guys, anyway, you like 15 or 14? Well, not roughly like that. Stadium 2. Stadium 2. Can afterwards, yeah. Well, I'll just sat down. Well done, see? Okay.
Goal hit mai to te me he
Today, before we start the tour, I need to know one thing. Are we all Man United fans?
Yes.
Anybody who's not? Say hello. 15. Right, thank you.
Just this one.
16.
She's not a Man U fan.
All right, what's all right? Where do you support, madam?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, okay. Security? Give her a guided tour of the exit? Just joking. Anybody else? Anybody support any other team? We don't mind. Well, basically, it'd be boring if we all supported the same team. We do actually welcome everybody from all around. Now, do me a favour, guys, as well. Will you do me a favour and put your phones on silent while we do the tour so nobody's being disrupted, just for the duration of the tour as well, guys. That's just not too... That's Wembley, the National Stadium. That's 90,000 people. But if we could develop the former South Stand or the Suburban Charlton Stand over there, we could make our capacity around 93,000, make it bigger than the National Stadium. But as it is, 75,000. The nearest one in capacity to us is the new Tottenham Hotspur ground. That's 62,000 people. So still some way short of our capacity here at Old Trafford. Now let's talk about where we are. Now the stands are actually gridded. Officially it's north, south, east and west, but we all call them different names. We begin the tour in the former North Stand, which was built in 1996, just in time for the European Championships, renamed in 2011 after our great manager Sir Alex Ferguson, the Alex Ferguson stand. Let's talk about how big this stand is. Now, from that fence there to that fence there and all the way back, we have room on this side of the stadium for over 25,000 people in this one particular stand. If you count the quadrants at the corner, we have 34,000 people on this side of the stadium, all sat down as well. Quite big. Now let's talk about this one stand, the 25,000 seater. Let's put it into context. We could fit all of Burnley Stadium into this stand. We could fit all of Crystal Palace's stadium in here, Watford's ground. I could go on. When Bournemouth were here in the Premier League, we could fit their entire stadium into this stand twice with 3,000 left over. So it's quite big. We're on the first of 3 tiers. You'll get a better view of it when we get to the corner over there shortly in the tour. Around 30 metres to the top, and the roof is that big that the playing surface behind me will fit on it. So it's quite a big stand as well, the biggest in the UK at the moment anyway. Now let's go around the stadiums for you now, guys. On the left hand side over there is what we call the E stand, but people like myself and all the supporters who've been coming quite a long time will know it as the scoreboard end. Now my first game here at Old Trafford was in 1968 when I was 8 years old, so now you know how old I am. Basically over there were nothing but fields, no, I'm only joking. There was just a terrace over there, and the stadium finished at the glass fronted units there. That was the top of the stadium. Now in those days all the games began at 3 o'clock and finished at 4:45 everywhere. There were no Monday night games, Wednesday night games, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon games. Every game began and finished on Saturday at 3 a.m. and 4:45 was the finishing time. So in this stand there, we had a person inside this stand there, and basically when they got the scores in from around the country, they would have a little barrel thing with all numbers on it, and they could change the scores as and when they came in. So on your programme there, you'd have A to Z, and each one letter corresponded to a game that was playing that day. So if it came up A, you'd know that that was Arsenal, for example. They were winning 2-0 against West Brom or whatever. So that's what we had. Now you probably noticed at Old Trafford here we do not have a large screen. That's because the stadium wasn't designed that way. Us and Liverpool are the only 2 teams in the Premier League who don't have a large screen. Now it's an old stadium. We've been on this site here for 111 years, but we've modernised it over the years and we have a UEFA 5-star rating. What we do have, instead of the large screens, look over there where it says Harry Gregg, and we've won it all. In between you'll see the black strip. Now we have 4 of those in each corner of the stadium. They're digital scoreboards. They will give everybody the information that they need to know about the game, the scorers, substitutes, attendance, etc. Time to go. That's all we need. Until we're told so by the FA, we do not have a large screen here. Because most of the grounds are brand new, aren't they? They're built from nothing. They can build them into the stadium. If we do move, we do have 15 acres in that direction, so I don't know, damned if we do, damned if we don't. If we move, people will go mad. If we stay here, they'll call it old, but it's not an old stadium. You'll see on the way around there, there's nothing wrong with the stadium, contrary to what Mr. Neville says anyway. Now you're looking at a bit of history here today, guys, because on the left hand side over there, we're putting our new safe standing section in there. The workmen are making quite a lot of noise, and it's hard to negotiate them, but they're putting in the safe standing. Now it seems a bit silly really, because they've still got seats there, but they can stand behind them against the rail. That's to encourage a singing section here at United, because when I was a teenager in the 70s, the attendance here was about 47 maximum, but everybody was male. I'm not having to call it women, sorry, but it was mainly guys, and they all got behind the team even though it was a smaller crowd. I used to come in here with 5 scarves down here, 5 scarves down here, Wrangler jacket, loads of badges on it, Doc Martens, 18-hole, cherry red laces, tartan bottoms, down to my backside, but that was then anyway. That's how it used to be, and I used to look through the people's, the big guys' armpits and everything so I could see the game. Now I've got a lovely seat up there, so it's all quite sanitised a little bit. I preferred it in the old days when you got behind the team. And we had a worse side as well. Now you come in here, if you get behind the team, they look at you, so you got 2 heads. So yeah, it's one thing that's lacking in games, and this is what we're trying to do here at Old Trafford. Now on the right hand side over there is a famous Stretford end, or the West Stand. Now that is where our most passionate, noisy fans are. It's called the Stretford end because the borough of Stretford in Manchester is about a mile in that direction. Now up until last year we used to have the family section in the corner over there, so the kids would be picking up some choice words after every single game. That has now changed a little bit, but that is where our most passionate fans are, in the Stretford end. Finally, behind me where most of the tour is going to begin today, because we have most things of interest to football fans over there. All this is corporate. I'd love to take you around here, but it's just all nice restaurants one after the other, so not a lot to see. Now that was actually renamed in 2016 after the great man himself, Sir Bobby Charlton, and I'll tell you more about him when we get over there shortly in the tour. Now if you're from the area, you'll know we'll get a lot of rainwater here in Manchester, and whatever rainwater falls in our stadium, we'll actually collect it and gather it and put it in a 75,000 gallon tank that is under the east stand. We'll be walking underneath it shortly. Now what we'll do with that water is we can treat it, we'll recycle it, and more importantly we can pump it back under the pitch in a series of 18 miles of pipes. Now what we can do with that water is we can hydrate the pitch, and we can also warm that water up in winter so the pitch will not get frostbitten. Sound like my granddad again now, but when I was a lad, if it was snowing, they would scrape out the sidelines, give you an orange ball and say get on with it. The pitch itself used to be a mess. Always muddy in the area, muddy in the middle, muddy in the other area. How Georgie Best played on this, I'll never know, but imagine what he'd be like on this. I was lucky enough to see him play, so he'd have been brilliant on this. Now the pitch has been raised up about the best part of a metre over the years. We've put different aggregates underneath there for drainage, and the pitch itself, 5 weeks ago that was all sand. What we do down, we put a specific seed down there, grass seed from rice seed from Holland. Now it's very good, it grows quite quickly. We won Premier League Pitch of the Year again last year. It's about all we've won actually. I've asked the ground staff to put some potatoes in there so we can lift something at the end of the season. But we'll have to see. I've got a feeling this year might be our year. We'll have to see anyway. Now the pitch itself is a hybrid pitch. It's 97% natural grass and 3% of it is artificial synthetic strands. About 10 years ago we had a machine that came in from Holland, like a big combine harvester but like a big knitting needle, and it put millions and millions of strands about that deep into the ground with a bit sticking up on the top. And when our natural ryegrass seed germinates, it grows around these strands and it makes it a tough, durable binding surface. It's called the Deso Grassmaster system. We were the first club to use it, but now they use it at the Camp Nou in Barcelona, the San Siro, Twickenham, Wembley, and even City's cottoned onto it. It's the way forward. Say for example, if a player does a sliding tackle, the pitch won't cut up like it used to years ago. It's not artificial, it is a natural pitch, and we will probably win Pitch of the Year again this season because it'll be in great condition when it's in full fettle. Look at the monitors on the pitch there in several places. They are there to measure the temperature, humidity and moisture of the pitch. So it's at premium temperature all the time. Our head groundsman can actually alter the temperature settings of the water and everything to suit the ground conditions. Now you're very lucky because through the week we will put down a natural pesticide. We put down liquid garlic. It will knock your head back if you don't like garlic. It's horrible. We also use a seaweed based compound as well, and we won't use any chemicals on our pitch. And in the close season, when we put the actual seeds down for the first time, we bring a falconer in. He'll come along with a big hawk, let it go and scare off all the pigeons. So yeah, we do all sorts as well. So any questions at this point, guys? Jose would love you guys. Here at Manchester United, this is where fans will come into the stadium for the first time. Now they will come in through those narrow gates there. There's a reason why they're narrow, because we only want to allow one person at a time into the stadium. Now, are you on the 3:10 tour, madam? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What we used to have at United here, as far as the season ticket was concerned, was something about that size. Now you would place it into the machine there. If everything was okay, you would light up green and allow people into the stadium one at a time. That way we could actually count them and we knew where they were in the stadium. Now once they're inside the stadium, they can go and get themselves an official programme from there. They can place a bet over there if they wanted to. And then they can go over to our kiosk over there and get some healthy football snack food. Things like hot dogs, meat pies, chocolate, crisps, soft drinks. And we also serve alcohol here at United, but you're not allowed to drink it in view of the pitch. You can drink what you like here, but you cannot take it into the stadium with you. It's a UK law, it applies to every single ground, so we're no different from anybody else. Now the big red doors there, XO6 and XO5, we have around 70 of those around the stadium. Now they will open up about 15 minutes before the end of the game to allow people to leave for logistical reasons, or the way we were playing a couple of years ago, we were leaving in droves anyway. Especially when we played City, they were all leaving at half time. I nearly got told off me because I'm going, thank you for coming, thank you. They're all just bailing. I mean, you don't need that, do you? You don't bail if you're getting beat. Anyway, we did get beat in that game. So in the unlikely event of an emergency, they will open up automatically. Now, if you cast your minds back about 5 years ago when we played Bournemouth at United, the end game of the season, we had a security problem. So we had to get everybody out of the stadium. I was president of the game, and I'm proud and pleased to say that we got 75,000 people safely out of the stadium in a little under 9 minutes. So yeah, it was well organised. Everybody did what they were told. Couldn't play the game. We had to play that again on Monday, but we won 4-0. But it was pointless anyway because we'd already won nothing that season. So as I said, guys, if you need the lavatories, let me know. Don't just wander off into them. You will get.
Heti anga naya hena ni khe tak tak eni le chu mo nom mong chu hi ground ni ta
Everybody, so we're now sat in the away director seats, and this is where the invited guests and celebrities will sit. And when the players who are not involved with the game, they'll be sat on the back row at the back there. People who are not even on the subs bench or they might be injured, they'll be there wearing the club tracksuits there to support the team. Now, there's a lot of history here. Man United will sit on the right-hand side. Unfortunately, we can't go and sit in there. I'll just let you know that the very end seat here, nearest to the aisle on the front row there, that is always kept empty because that is where the late, great Sir Matt Busby used to sit. If anybody does sit there now on a match day, it's a member of his family. As a mark of respect, we'll leave that open because nobody sat there officially since 1994. Now, 4 rows back, you'll see the name Sir Bobby Charlton on the back of his seats there. He's got 4 seats. The 5th row, the last 8 seats there on that side there, are reserved for Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, when people say, why does he get 8 seats and everybody else has 4? We say 38 trophies, he can have as many as he likes. Further back there, we have seats reserved for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his family, but Ollie's always down there on match day, staring at his computer for some reason. Now, further back on the back row there, when they're in town, our owners, the Glazier family, they will be sat on the back row. Now, these seats in front here are the most expensive that you can buy as a season ticket holder. They have remained the same for the last 10 years. £50 a seat for these, the most expensive. But they're right in front of the directors, and as you can see, a great view of the park. Not too high, not too low. Now, I'm pleased because my seat is up there, where it says Sir Alex Ferguson, 26 years. I've just paid £836 for my season ticket. I'm really pleased at that. My wife still thinks it's £250 a year. So, yeah, don't tell anybody. But the thing is, though, and she also thinks that I don't have to pay for European matches and cup games. I do. So when we get drawn in the cup, I'm like, oh, be away, be away. But you want to be playing at Old Trafford, don't you? That's great value for money because in London, Arsenal, for example, you can't get a seat anywhere at the Emirates for less than £100 a game. That's every game, and they make everybody season ticket holders. So you think about Tottenham as well. They're charging £100 a game, and they haven't won the league since 1960. That was the year I was born. So, yeah, go figure. They're not providing anything. We are winning championships and cups and things like that, buying the best players, and we've kept our prices the same. That's because we can, because we only make 11% of our revenue through the gate. We can play to empty stadiums. We make our money through TV and advertising. We've just signed a £350 million shirt deal as well. So, yeah, you've probably seen it. You see it in stores today. You can even get Sancho's new top today, number 25. So, yeah, have a look at that. Now, over there you can see the monitors of the written press. We're going to follow in their footsteps now because we're going to make our way into the press room. This is what you'll recognise from TV, guys. This is where the managers are grilled by you guys for one day only, members of the written press. So when you're ready, let's go through to the press room.